So welcome back. We're in the last section, and this last section is about truth in lending. So you've probably heard of annual percentage rates, APRs on different things like cars and all that kind of different stuff. What is APR? So this is probably the easiest way to explain it. So since lenders describe their interest rates in a variety of ways, so remember, we can use simple interest, we can use compound interest. The annual percentage rate, APR, was developed in order to attain a standard interest rate that consumers could use to compare rates from different lenders. Since the actual calculation for APR is lengthy, specific combinations of APRs, monthly payment options, and finance charges per $100 have been synthesized into a table. See below or on page 725. So there's essentially three components to it. There's the actual APR, which is a different interest rate. And you see all these ones are, multiples of 0.5, starting at 6.0, ending at 14.0%. The next piece is the number of payments for whatever you're paying on. So the smallest would be 6 payments, 6 months, all the way up to 60 months, which is 5 years. And then you have all these dollar values in the middle here, which are all finance charges. So think of it like interest per $100 that you're financing. So for every $100, you have this amount of interest or this amount of finance charge associated with it. So how do we get that finance charge per $100 is a formula. And it's fairly simple. We have to find the finance charge. So again, remember, the finance charge is like the interest, and then the amount financed. So how much are you actually borrowing? So that's the easier way to think of those two quantities. So finance charges like the interest, the amount financed is what you're borrowing. So, and then you're going to divide it and multiply it by 100, and that gives you that quantity. So once you have that, then you can use this table to find APRs and things like that. So let's try it out on a couple problems. So it says find the APR, the true annual interest rate, to the nearest 0.5%. So that goes back to pointing to this table because they're all 0.5% for each loan. So the amount financed is $1,000. Finance charge is $75. The number of monthly payments is 12. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to find this finance charge per $100. Now I just abbreviate it FC/$100. So don't confuse it with just finance charge in total, but this is the finance charge per $100. So we're going to take our finance charge, which is $75, put it over 1,000, and then times it by 100. So if we do that, we should get 7.5. So actually it's $7.50. So now that we have this, now we have to use our table to find where the 750 is, but where, which row? That's where the 12 monthly payments comes in. So we know we're focused on 12 only, and we have to go over until we find 750. Okay, now 750 is not here, so the only thing we can do is find what's closest. So the closest one to 750 is 746. So that points up to a 13.5% APR, and you're done. So again, and 12 payments points to an APR of 13.5%. That's all they want. So let's do it one more time, and then we'll see how we can make this a little bit more challenging. So we still got our amount financed, we got our finance charge, and then we got our number of monthly payments. So let's find our finance charge per $100. So we got 750 over 6,600 times 100. So this one I'm going to use a calculator on just because I want to do it right. So that gives us that, but then we got to times it by 100. So that gives you $11.36. Okay, so now we got $11.36, and we still got our 30 payments. So 30 payments is right in the middle, 1136. Well, we got 1135. That's probably as close as we're going to get. So if we go up, we got 8.5%. All right. So again, it's not a hard table, but you got to have the right numbers to be able to read it correctly. So let's try one that has a little bit more work to it. So now we got a little bit different information. They still want the APR to the nearest half percent, so we still got to use the table, but they're giving us slightly different stuff. So now they're telling us that the purchase price of whatever you're buying was $4,190. You put down a down payment of $390. The add-on interest was 6%, and the number of payments was 12. Okay, so remember, we still need to find that finance charge per $100. So in order to find that, though, we need the finance charge and we need the amount financed. So I would start with the amount financed first. So how can we get how much was actually borrowed? So look at what they gave us. They gave us the purchase price, and they gave us a down, and you put down a down payment. So you don't have to borrow as much. So if we want to find the amount financed, all we got to do is subtract these. So that looks like $3,800. So there's one of the pieces we need. The next piece is the finance charge in total. Now remember with the little catchphrase I put down for it, that's the same as the interest. So how much interest are you going to accrue on this $3,800? Now remember, the add-on interest is simple interest. So we can use this to our advantage as well. We can use our simple interest formula. So we got 3,800 times our 6%. But how long was it for? How long are we doing the loan for? 12 monthly payments. This is equal to 1 year. So all we got to do is multiply it by 1. So that gives us 3,800 times 0.06. $228. So now we're home free. So now we got our two pieces. So the 228 is on top, 3,800 is on the bottom, and we'll times it by 100. Okay, so we already got our 228 there, so I'm going to divide that by 3,800, which equals 0.06. Then we have times that by 100, so we get 6. So 6 is our finance charge, or excuse me, $6 is our finance charge per $100, and we want to do it for 12 months. So let's go back to our table for a moment. So our table, so we want 12 and 6. 6 is, well, 606 looks like it's going to be the winner. That's probably the closest. So that's 11%. 11.0. Okay. So 11.0%. All right. Let's do one more and then we'll stop there. So new purchase price, new down payment. So get our our amount financed. Okay, let's do that here just to make sure. Minus 2,200, 5280. Okay, so 5280 was what is borrowed. Now we got to find the interest, which is the finance charge. See, that's the thing that you got to be careful about. Finance charge in total is the interest. So 50,280 times our 5%, and then times how many years? Well, we got 18 payments. 18 payments is how many years? Well, let's divide it by 12. 18 divided by 12 is 1.5. So 1.5 years. So let's multiply all three of those. So I already got the 1.5, so I'll times it by 0.05 times 5280, 396. So $396 is the finance charge. So again, this is all right. So now we're in the home stretch. So we are 396 over 5280 times 100. Oh, I already got it in there, so let's divide it by 5280, and then times, so 750. So $7.50 and 18 payments. Okay, so let's see what that APR is. 750 and 18. 750 and 18. So 18, 750. 750. We got a choice of 728 or 769. 750. I think it's going to be a little bit closer to 769. So that's 0.19. And remember, if you're not 100% sure, just do a little subtraction. Just say, okay, I'll only subtract 769, so that's 19 cents away. And then on the other side, 750 minus 728, that's 22 cents away. So definitely the 769 is closer. So that's going to be 9.5%. So 9.5%. All right, so let's stop there, and then we'll do another example just to wrap up the whole concept, and then we're going to see some other applications.